Hello and welcome. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Siobhan and I am sort of cheating today. So if you've watched my other videos, then you know that I am doing a 65-day list. And when I made the list, I didn't really pay attention to how the looks affected each other. So day 22 is a pink lip and day 23 is a Barbie inspired look. And I feel like I'm just going to be doing the same thing 2 days in a row. So instead, I'm just going to combine them into one look. So I have already done my foundation, and it is the Too Faced Peach Perfect in Swan. And then I'm just using the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores in translucent for my powder. And this powder, I made the dent, I hit pan, I thought I was so close to done, and it's the powder that just keeps on going. Which is it's not a bad thing. It's just exciting when you finally use a full product. So for my inspiration image, I just Googled Barbie, and the image that came up the most is the image that I decided I was going to use. So I'll put it up here, maybe up here. So I have not done my brows. We're gonna see if I can make this pencil work. I've only used this a couple of times when I first got it. It's the It Cosmetics Brow Power, and it's Universal Taupe. So here goes nothing.
One eternity later.
So the color is good without spending a fair amount of time actually doing some proper brow grooming. I think this is about as good as we're gonna get. I'm gonna go ahead and get my eye primer down. This is just my usual Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden. I feel so like low energy and kind of sleepy right now. And I just don't know what's going on. I thought that my medications were getting so much better. And a lot of my emotional stuff seems to be getting better. But I don't know what is going on with my physical stuff. Like, I went to bed and slept for a solid 13 hours. And prior to sleeping for that 13 hours, I was only awake for about 10 hours before I was at the point that I had to go back to sleep. I have heard a million times, you're probably sleeping too much. That's what's making you so tired. While that may be partially true, I'm also only sleeping as much as my body is requiring me to sleep. I'm just going to use Tempera from the Modern Renaissance palette to set this down. So it's not like I'm waking up and I'm making myself go back to sleep. It's that I'm waking up, and when I wake up naturally, I make myself get up. And I'll get up and I'll go to the bathroom and I'll go out to the couch and I'll sit down, and I will be so tired that I can't hold my eyes open, and I'll almost feel a little bit dizzy, and it's physically uncomfortable. So I'm hoping that the doctor is going to be able to figure something out. I am going to use the Pure Midnight Masquerade. This came in BoxyCharm, so if you haven't seen my BoxyCharm unboxing video, this was in there. And I'm just going to be using a few of the colors out of here. Typically, I think of a lot of makeup, but the primary picture that I found, there really is not very much makeup. The makeup that I wear on a normal day is actually much more makeup than what Barbie has on in this photo. So this is actually the blush shade that's right here. It's called Reveal. and it's just a sort of purple shade. I have my reference photo over here, so if I keep looking over there, that's why. I did also adjust the camera after editing my video, which will probably be 2 videos ago, when I realized that I spent most of the video completely out of frame. Not completely out of frame, that's a lie. You could see my hair and the top of my head, which was genius. So that was special. And so I have adjusted the camera a bit, and then I also did not zoom in as far. I will continue to play around with stuff. I'm also thinking about thinking about getting some soft boxes for lighting, just because they're relatively inexpensive, and I think that it would really help. The less I have to do in editing, the easier it will be for me to continue posting videos once I am back at work full time. So it's something that I hope I haven't been out of focus the whole time. I might have been. I'm doing my best here, people. So I'll think that things are good, and then I'll look at the camera, or I'll look at the footage later when I thought that a whole video was good. And it is what it is. I figure I am learning, and I'm not going to be too harsh on myself while I'm learning. Everybody has to start somewhere. These brushes that I'm using are Japanesque brushes. All of them are Japanesque brushes. So this is Hidden Secret that I'm going in with now, which is just the pink. So this look should actually be fairly simple, although I say things like that and then the looks that I'm doing turn out to not be simple for me at all. This pink that I'm using is Hidden Secret, which is the larger blush in here. And I used this as a blush, and as a blush, it is beautiful. As an eyeshadow, it also works really well. Zoom you in a little bit so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. She has a very highlighted brow bone. So I'm going to go into Twilight, which is the highlight shade in here, and just highlight right underneath my brow. This may not be bright enough. I may need to find a brighter highlighter, because her eye is highlighted in like white. And this is more of just like a highlighter. So I happen to have Block Party right next to me, and I talked about this in my last video. This is the white that's in here, and it is white. The color is Milkshake. And I'm just gonna tap a little bit of that into there. I don't actually want it to look white on my brow, so just being really light-handed here. I'm trying to be so careful, because I know that this white will show up as a true white even on my super fair skin. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I feel like if I go any further, it's just going to be too much. For my eyeliner, for the black eyeliner, I'm going to use the M Cosmetics. So I'm going to use the M Cosmetics. This is the illustrative eyeliner in brush with a brush tip, and this is just black. So we're gonna see if I can get a wing that looks just like Barbie's. Barbie has a very thin, sharp wing, which is not typically my style, but Got it on there okay. I'm gonna put a little more brown underneath here now that I have my eyeliner on, and just darken it up a bit. For mascara, I'm just gonna use the Clinique High Impact Mascara. It's just a little sample that I have. I'm just trying to get through all of these sample sizes that I have that I've used like once or twice. So I think that I have some that have never been used at all, and those ones I can give away. But once I've used them, I don't feel comfortable giving them to somebody. Actually, I like this mascara. It's pretty. It doesn't really add any volume. I don't even know if it has any claims on here because I don't have the box. So I would have to look it up to see what the claims were for it. It seems to be kind of lengthening, not really adding any kind of volume. I have okay lashes. They're not as long as I would love for them to be, but I do prefer lengthening over anything else in a mascara. And second would be, oh look, and I managed to get a little bit on my face. I thought I was almost gonna not do it this time, and it would have just, that would have been a tragedy to have not gotten mascara on me. After that, my next would be to have curl. I don't like my eyelashes to get super clumpy. I am going to use false lashes. I'm going to use the same ones I used yesterday. These are the Kiss Beehive lashes, and I just feel like they go well with this look. The biggest reason I don't put lashes on in videos is because it's sort of a slow process. Like it's putting glue on and then waiting, and then there's a little bit of struggle sometimes, but also that I am so frequently using lashes that I've never used before, which means I also don't ever know what the actual struggle is going to be like, because depending on an individual lash and how well it, like how flexible it is, how well the individual lashes are attached to the band, all sorts of things come into play to determine whether or not lashes are actually going to be quick to put on. And I am by no means an expert at putting on lashes. I struggled so much when I first started trying to put on lashes. And when I first started putting on lashes rarely seemed to come with like strips and then glue. They all seem to already have the glue attached, which I don't feel like I ever see at all anymore. So they had like this sticky stuff that was already on it, and I never really knew what I was doing, and I would try to follow the directions on the box, and I would end up with like a lash that was up here or over here, and I would get frustrated and eventually just give up. So after one of my very best friends back home got married and they put lashes on me for her wedding, I paid attention to how the makeup artist put them on, and I'm somebody who does very good at mimicking what other people do. So that was how I learned. So I guess me not showing you how I put them on is robbing you of the same experience that taught me how to do lashes. I hadn't really thought of that until right now. So I put glue on. I just put a small, you can't really see it at all in the viewfinder. So I put a small little line of glue on there, and then I waited this whole time I've been talking for it to dry. And then I just set it down. I have to do this in a mirror, so if this goes out of frame, I'm really sorry, but this is not mirror optional. So I always grab one side with the tweezers, and I always try to set down the inside part first, and then I kind of like lay it around, and I lay it all the way up against my lash line. And then I just sort of push it in. And then there it is. And then I use the tweezers and just push my natural, oh, there's a sticky spot there, and just push my natural lashes into the false lashes. And then I almost never put glue. I do okay with words sometimes, and then sometimes my brain just malfunctions. I almost never put mascara on after I have false lashes on because it will wear down your false lashes. If you have a particularly hard time putting on lashes, I highly, highly, highly recommend starting out with demi lashes that are just this outside portion and wearing those first. Those are all that I wore for a very long time when I first started wearing lashes, because it's much more difficult to put on a full strip. The photo that I have, she does not have a whole lot on her actual face. You would think that my space was super messy right now because I just keep knocking stuff over. It's not. It's pretty organized, aside from some dirty brushes laying out in front of me. So I'm going to go back into Hidden Secret, which is that same pink that I have on my eyes, and just lay it down really softly on my cheeks. I also don't know why I have all of these little bits on my face. Like, it looks like pieces of brush, like pieces of eye brushes, except it's not even like the brushes that I was using, so I don't know where it came from. And then I'm going to use the highlight out of here, which is called Twilight. So the highlight that's in here looks like it is just like a matte shade, and it's not. It's very pretty. I do really very much like this palette. Okay. And then next is going to be, of course, the pink lips. So I'm going to use this lip liner. Okay. So it's an Essence Long Lasting, and this is in 02 Sweetheart. Oh, I was talking about this in my last video because I thought that the eyeliner pencil that I had did this, but this doesn't wind back down. It really irritates me when products do that. If you wind up, you should wind down. It is not as pale of a pink as what I saw when I was pulling up photos, or as pale of a pink as what is in my reference photo. So I took a few photos just in case this turns out terribly. And then I have Wet n Wild, Witch and Famous, which is this, because this might come as a shock. I don't have a lot of pale pink shades around. So I'm hoping that this is going to work. I bought this totally just on a whim the other day. I don't know how pale pink it is. It just sort of made my lipstick look more metallic. But we're gonna go with it. I feel like if I do more, that I'm just gonna be making it worse. So I also am having pains in my back, and I'm still tired. It's so frustrating. Anyway, this is both Pink Lips and Barbie all in one. So day 22 and 23. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I would appreciate it if you subscribed. If you choose not to, that's fine too. But I do appreciate it when people subscribe. It's good to know that people care. It gives me incentive to keep making videos. And I hope that you are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. Bye.